The dark side of gut feelings. When suspicion uncovers unimaginable crimes, that gut feeling screaming, "Run?" For these people, ignoring it meant uncovering horrors worse than betrayal. What happens when intuition exposes monsters hiding in plain sight? Take Liv, for example. She had a gut feeling her boyfriend of 8 months was cheating, a subtle shift in his behavior, the way his phone always faced down, the unexplained late nights. So one night, while he slept, she did the unthinkable. She went through his phone. Her hands shook as she scrolled. It was something far darker. Photos, messages, evidence of crimes so horrific, her blood turned to ice. Children's toys in the background of images that made her vomit. She packed a single bag, left her keys on the table, and ran without a word. This wasn't just betrayal. This was the worst-case scenario. The kind of revelation that splits your life into before and after. Liv's story shows how the person who shares your bed could be hiding atrocities in plain sight, and how one brave act of snooping can unravel a carefully constructed facade of normalcy. Why do we ignore our gut feelings until it's too late? We rationalize the red flags. He's just stressed, or she's probably busy. But in cases like Liv's, that hesitation can mean the difference between catching a predator and becoming another victim. Studies show our subconscious picks up on micro-expressions, subtle changes in behavior, patterns that don't add up, long before our conscious mind connects the dots. It's why your skin crawls when someone seems off, even if you can't explain why. This isn't just anxiety, it's your brain's threat detection system working overtime. When we override these signals to avoid awkwardness or confrontation, we're essentially silencing our internal alarm system, a system evolved over millennia to keep us safe from harm. What happens after the discovery? For Liv, it meant navigating a legal labyrinth where justice moves at a glacial pace, beyond reasonable doubt, while the accused remains free, sometimes for years. The emotional toll? Even worse than the initial shock. Liv spent months reliving the trauma through police interviews, court appearances, the invasive scrutiny of her own past. She learned that exposing a monster doesn't guarantee they'll be caged, just that they'll fight harder to destroy you. Battlefield, where victims are re-traumatized while perpetrators exploit every loophole. Liv's case dragged on for 18 months before her ex was finally convicted. 18 months of looking over her shoulder, of nightmares, of questioning whether coming forward was worth the cost. Then there's the Nolan Wells case, a chilling example of how gut feelings can spiral into chaos. A man grew suspicious of his neighbor, noticing strange comings and goings at odd hours, a basement light always on, a smell he couldn't place. He filed a missing persons report after connecting dots between local disappearances and his neighbor's behavior. But the truth was stranger than fiction. The neighbor wasn't a killer, but a victim himself, trapped in a blackmail scheme involving a third party. The conflicting stories and lack of concrete evidence left more questions than answers, showing how intuition can lead you down rabbit holes where nothing is as it seems, or send you chasing shadows, how the line between vigilance and paranoia is razor thin. Even experts aren't immune to intuition's power. A leading AI scientist became convinced his nephew was plotting violence after noticing subtle changes in his online activity, purchases of suspicious materials, coded language in messages. His professional training in pattern recognition amplified his fears until they erupted in a violent confrontation outside a courthouse where the nephew was actually attending jury duty. Was it paranoia, or did his intuition see something everyone else missed, created a self-fulfilling prophecy? This case study shows how specialized knowledge can distort intuition, turning professionals into prisoners of their own predictive models, seeing threats where none exist because their brains are wired to find patterns, even imaginary ones. For some, uncovering the truth isn't a relief, It's a life sentence. The weight of knowing, the guilt of, what if I'd acted sooner? One woman who discovered her husband's criminal past described it as living with a ghost, knowing every tender moment might have been a lie, every smile a mask, to preserve the friendship even if it was built on deception. The aftermath of revelation often leaves survivors questioning their own judgment, replaying every interaction for missed clues, trapped in a loop of what-ifs. Intuition becomes a curse when it shows you horrors you can't unsee, truths that rewrite your entire history with someone you thought you knew. So how do you balance suspicion and sanity? Experts say, document everything: dates, times, specific behaviors. Act fast, report to authorities if there's immediate danger. But don't spiral. Avoid confirmation bias by seeking objective opinions. Because while gut feelings can save lives, they can also destroy them if left unchecked. Create a trust but verify system. Note inconsistencies. Look for patterns. Share concerns with a trusted third party who can offer perspective. Remember, intuition is a tool, not a verdict. A starting point for investigation rather than proof of guilt. The key is honoring your instincts without letting them hijack your rationality. Because in the gray area between paranoia and protection, that's where truth hides.